Now, incredible, chaotic. I don't know how to describe the game at Stamford Bridge on Saturday as Chelsea beat Brighton 4-2. Thanks to Cole Palmer scoring all 4 goals in under 20 first-half minutes. A record in the Premier League, 4 in the first half of a game. Chelsea got some criticism in the summer for their transfer dealings, but then left themselves with so much attacking talent. They have 13 points, just one behind Manchester City and Arsenal now. So, what do you think, Sue?
Well, they've done well, haven't they? Enzo Maresca's certainly got his team buying into what he wants. We know that they've got a young, exciting side with lots of attacking talent, but you just wondered, would he be able to keep everybody happy? And at the moment, it's so far so good. I know it's still early on, and we're saying, can they consistently do that throughout the season? But all you can do is judge them on what we've seen so far. And so far, attacking-wise, they've been absolutely brilliant. I know we can talk defensively about, do they need that solid base? Do they need to maybe improve that side of the game? But in terms of entertainment, they're brilliant to watch.
Yeah, plenty of, inevitably, plenty of talk about Cole Palmer. OK. Dean, sum it up if you can, how good he has been, how good he was on Saturday, and how good actually he could be.
I think since he went to Chelsea, I think he's easily been the best player in the Premier League. I think he's just head and shoulders above most. You know, what he's delivering on a consistent basis for someone that is still so young and inexperienced, really, in terms of elite level appearances, I find it outrageous. He's such a joy to watch. He just plays as if he's still with his mates in the summer when you've got 6 weeks off and you just drag the goal down to your local park and he's just showing off. That's what it feels like. He's just such an unbelievable talent. And actually what Maresca's done is the right thing. He's just gone, you are my main player in that 10 role. And you just let everyone else around you go about their business and just do things like that. I mean, he's a joy to watch. If ever I get the chance when working to sit and watch him off the ball as well as on the ball, you just know for the next however long he wants, he'll be one of the best players certainly in this country. And that's what he brings. He brings an unbelievable quality, but also a humbleness to be shocked when he misses.
Yeah,
which he was. He couldn't believe it himself.
He's just got everything, hasn't he?
Yeah,
in terms of his ability on the ball, the way that he sees a pass, then he can execute it. Then when he's through on goal, having that calmness. And it was interesting, I was listening to Maresca getting interviewed afterwards, and he was saying he's not concerned about fame going to his head, because he said he's just so humble. He's got ambitions that he wants to be the best, but he's very humble, and if he misses a chance like that, he's gutted about it and he wants to go, right, I'm going to work hard to make sure that I don't miss that chance. It just seems like football's easy for him. It's just when he's on the ball, he just sees things that maybe other players don't see, and that is just an absolute natural ability. When he's asked at the end of the game, do you practice free kicks? He's like, no, not really. And I bet all coaches are going to their young players, please practice, please keep practicing. But he has that natural ability to just be able to do that. He's absolute top quality.
OK. I'm trying to think of a Chelsea player in their recent past, and it's slightly different, but Eden Hazard, is he different type of players, but sort of operating in the same areas and can get you out of the seat in the same way. Is he better than Eden Hazard?
That's not a nice question for a Monday. But
I'm glad you got that one.
But I think he is. I think he is, really? And will be. I think he already is, and I think he will be. To be doing the things already and on a consistent basis, this isn't the first game that we've gone and wowed again about Cole Palmer. So they have got one. I mean, look at that. It's just like, just had a good day, and he just had a good day with his mates. He's not that it's in front of millions of people and the pressures that you have as a top player. Brilliant.
But even when Chelsea weren't performing, he was still performing at a really high level. And the fact that I know he's been at Manchester City, but he hadn't made many starts. He come to Chelsea and was quite happy to be the main man, wasn't he? I remember the penalty. No, I'll take this penalty.
Yeah.
He's confident in a massive game. He's confident to do that and believes in his ability. And I think that says so much about mentality of a youngster. He's still young. This boy can still improve, which is, I think, scary for everybody. But yeah, absolute. He's world class right now.
Yeah, I watched him very closely at the end. I think he was waving at me there. I watched him very closely at the end. He actually kind of fell on the ground and said, like that. But he was soon up and wanted another kickabout. It does beg the question, if you say he's the best in the Premier League at the moment, I mean, is he better than Phil Foden? Because why isn't he getting, or why hasn't he so far? We don't know what will happen under Lee Carsley and when he's fit for a squad, because he wasn't last time out. Why isn't he the number one on the team sheet then for England?
I'm not sure. That was Gareth's choice because he was there. He'd had a great season, but so had Phil Foden. Let's not forget, Phil Foden was outrageous at times. I just think the regularity and the numbers that he's producing, constant, and not just the goals and assists, but the chances he's creating week in, week out, I think just puts him ahead of the rest at the moment.
Jadon Sancho, let's talk about him. 3 assists in 3 games now for Chelsea. What is this about? Feeling happy with where you are and the football that you're playing? What is it that we're seeing from him?
I just think it's great to see a player that we know has got a lot of ability that just didn't work out at Manchester United. The breakdown in relationship with him and Ten Hag. He obviously goes to Chelsea. You can see that he just looks confident. He looks sharp. He wants to get on the ball. Obviously, his assists as well. But it's a player that we know's got a lot of ability, and we're starting to see it again now.
Robert Sanchez, interesting. Please debate, because he pulled off a couple of incredible saves, yet you could argue responsible for both of Brighton's goals in this one. Don't know what he was doing there. And then for the second one, he gave the ball away. So afterwards, Maresca saying, expect to see more of these at the back. But is it worth the risk for a reward that might not even be there?
It is for the manager, because he did it at Leicester and he did it very well, and he took risks with it. Sanchez should be used to it as well with the way that Brighton played. And he's just going to have to try and block out those sorts of instances, because that might happen a few more times before he and the defence that he's in front of, midfield, are very comfortable with the way that Maresca wants to play. But the risk is paying off, because when they get out, they've got such attacking talent that they're just then ripping through teams because of who they've got on the pitch or who they can bring off the bench. I was at the West Ham game and they just ran through them. Once they get through that, any sort of a press, they're away. So I can see why he wants to do it, and he's quite headstrong. He'll stick with it.
I had spotted that, and actually he's staring at me quite ominously now. I'm actually quite scared of him. So as we said before, Arsenal 6-4, City 7-4 now, then 72 Liverpool, and 12-1 Chelsea. Too early for this young team, because they're still the youngest average age in the Premier. Too early for this young team to put a full-hearted title tilt top 4, though? Is that a strong possibility even at this early stage?
Yeah, I think they are still a young team, like I said before, an exciting team, one that you can see will only get better. Is it a little bit too early for them to be challenging for the title and top 4? Maybe. It's just putting that consistent run of games together. We can see the potential that they've got. We can see the quality in those attacking areas. My only worry is just defensively. It's having that sort of solid base to then allow the attacking players to go and flourish. So I think you just want to see progression. I think that's what Chelsea fans want to see progression, but they put themselves in and around that position. Why not? You've got to try and dream, haven't you?
Good to see you, Graham. I think a lot of people probably haven't seen you since you left Chelsea, April of last year. Has that been a deliberate ploy to stay away from the limelight?
It has, to be honest, yeah. Spend some time with the family, connect with them after a 12-year journey, which has started in the 4th tier of Swedish football and ends in the the last eight of the Champions League. It's a journey that doesn't come for free, and it's nice to be able to spend some time with them, connect with them, and see what the future brings.
And for you, really, as a coach, the first real bump in the road, how hard was that to accept? How hard was it to handle?
Yeah, of course it's disappointing. You know, it's never nice when you lose your job. I think in any walk of life, I think. But in the end, you have to treat it as a learning experience. You have to treat it as an opportunity to grow and improve. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had. I'm grateful for the experience. It was tough and it was challenging, but there's some highlights as well. And like I said, it's about putting it into perspective, not trying to blame yourself completely, but not trying to blame everybody else either. It's about finding the balance and reflecting and coming back stronger.
I read an interview last week in which you gave, in which you talked about that anger and bitterness and frustration that you felt. I think the first thought was, well, you're perfect to be a pundit now.
Exactly.
Have those wounds healed, though?
Yeah, I think it's a normal human reaction. You just have to deal with it as best you can. As I said, I think time heals a little bit and perspective heals. But at the time, we're competitive. You want to succeed, and the reality of it is we didn't, and that ends in losing your job, which is difficult to accept and deal with at the time. But you have to deal with it. You have to understand what went on, what went well, what didn't go so well, and then move forward.
So that's 17 months, Graham. What have you done in that time to better equip yourself, if you like, make yourself a better coach next time?
Yeah, it's a combination of lots of things. I think, again, as I said, connecting with family and friends, getting that perspective, trying to put the whole 12 years, 13 years into a picture rather than just focus on the 7 months. And then I got my football fix from going on courses, education, trying to see people working in their own environment, different contexts about leadership, to test myself in different surroundings, watch other sports, watch other organisations, and watch you guys. Watch from afar, watch everybody else's problems. They seem a lot easier when they're not yours.
Have you watched a lot of football?
Yeah, I have. We're fortunate that we can get the tactical cams, and so you can still watch the game and get the best bits of the game, the tactical elements of the game, but not have the camera. I mean, it's just how it is. I turn up with a football game with my two boys, and all of a sudden I'm linked to the job that the manager's under pressure. It's not very pleasant. So, but it's been nice to take my lads to football. It's been nice to do that, and it's nice to watch it in my own house, away from the prying eyes of the media and the scrutiny that comes with the job, ultimately.